I'm looking for a tiny stove. I want a really little stove. What are your top three?
Tiny stove, presumably you're talking about things to go in like outbuildings and
Yeah.
boats, caravans and all that sort of stuff. Okay. Well, if it's traditional, then everyone who watches the channel knows that I love the Jotun 602. I adore that stove. It is magical, wonderful, joyful, and very little. And very suited to, you know, little cabins and that sort of thing. One of the key things, often these installations are not done up to building regs specification, because often they're not building regs buildings, they're caravans or little shepherd's huts or whatever. And so one of the key things is you want something that will draw on a short flue and not be leaking smoke into the room. 602 is very, very deep, quite well suited to a short flue, and also really functional. You can cook on it, it can run overnight. Spectacular option. If you wanted something that was a bit more quirky, I've gone for quirky rather than modern, because I think sometimes if you're doing like a little garden room, you want something that's quirky conversation piece. Then I go for the apple pie, and they do a couple of, I think they do a pumpkin pie now as well. But these stoves are fantastically quirky. They're conversation pieces. They're not functional tools for, you know, serious use. So if I was living in a van, I perhaps would be thinking, you know, is this functional enough for me? But if you're wanting quirky, interesting, you can get ovens on them, you can get all sorts of different colours, you can get warming shelves. It's just a wonderful, I'm going to do them a disservice now and say it's a wonderful toy. It sort of is a toy, but it's just so juicy and lovely. And if you want something that's a bit more modern looking, then I quite like the Charmwood Air 3. It is quite modern looking. You can get it on a log store. They will also do some quirky, interesting options and colours and all that sort of thing. So it's still an interesting proposition, but it's a bit more sort of stylish, maybe a bit more clean, contemporary. If that's your bag. If you've got any other ideas of the best stoves in this area, then drop them in the comments. We can have a chat on there, and you know, who knows, maybe there'll be some other ideas, but these are the best that we've tested.